In the heart of West Africa, where the golden savannas stretch endlessly beneath the sun, a story of transformation was quietly taking root. A nation once called Upper Volta struggled under the weight of poverty and the lingering shadows of colonial rule, its people facing hardship and uncertainty every day. But in the early 1980s, a new voice rose: Thomas Sankara, a young army captain with a bold vision for change and a heart full of hope. Unlike the leaders who came before him, Sankara reached out to ordinary people, farmers, workers, students, listening closely to their hopes, their struggles, and their dreams for a better future. When he came to power in 1983, it felt like a revolution, not just another coup. The streets of Ouagadougou erupted in celebration, as if a new era had dawned overnight. His first act was to rename the country Burkina Faso, Land of Upright People, a bold and symbolic break from its colonial past, signaling a new identity rooted in dignity. This new name sparked a wave of national pride and unity, bringing people together under a shared vision for their homeland. Sankara's rise inspired hope, not just in Burkina Faso, but across Africa. Young people everywhere saw in him a symbol of possibility and change. He showed that an African leader could be young, honest, and truly serve his people, breaking the mold of what leadership had meant for generations. His message was simple, yet powerful. We have the power to change our own destiny, to shape our future with our own hands. Sankara's leadership became a beacon for those yearning for dignity, justice, and self-determination, lighting a path forward for the oppressed. He believed in building a nation defined by integrity and courage, not by the scars of its colonial history or the limits others tried to impose. His energy was contagious, his vision unwavering, and his passion inspired countless others to believe in the possibility of real change. For the first time in generations, people felt part of something new, something truly their own, a movement that belonged to them. Sankara's story began as a spark, one that would ignite a movement and set the hearts of millions alight with hope. This belief in the people, in their strength and potential, became the foundation of his short but deeply impactful leadership, a legacy that still inspires today. Sankara's leadership was rooted in honesty, self-reliance, and equality. He believed that a nation could only rise if its leaders set the highest standards for themselves, and he made sure to embody these ideals in every aspect of his life. He fought corruption fiercely, living modestly, and selling off government luxuries. Sankara refused to indulge in the privileges of power, choosing instead to lead by example, and show that public office was a responsibility, not a reward. Ministers drove simple cars and worked alongside farmers to understand their struggles. This hands-on approach helped bridge the gap between the government and ordinary citizens, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. Sankara believed public service was a duty, not a path to wealth. He often reminded his colleagues that their true reward was the progress and well-being of their people. He focused on empowering the poor, pushing for food self-sufficiency and local agriculture. By encouraging communities to grow their own food, he aimed to break the cycle of dependency and hunger. "He who feeds you, controls you," he warned, urging Burkinabe to rely on their own hands. Sankara's message was clear: true freedom comes from self-reliance and collective effort. Gender equality was central to his vision. He outlawed harmful practices and appointed women to high office. Sankara saw the liberation of women as essential to the nation's progress, and he worked tirelessly to ensure their voices were heard. "The revolution and women's liberation go together," he declared. He believed that no society could move forward if half its population was left behind. These weren't just slogans. Sankara led by example, lowering salaries and breaking down barriers between government and people. He made sure that leaders were accessible and accountable to those they served. His leadership style was hands-on and personal, making everyone feel invested in the nation's future. Sankara's presence in the community inspired hope and a sense of belonging among the people. He demanded integrity from his team and inspired it in his people. Sankara's unwavering commitment to his principles set a powerful example for all Burkinabe. Sankara's vision was radical for its time, but deeply practical. He believed that real change was possible if everyone worked together and stayed true to their values. He showed that real change starts with leaders who live the values they preach. Sankara's humility and dedication inspired a generation to believe in a better future. This was the blueprint for a new Burkina Faso, a nation built on justice, equality, and the unwavering belief that together, its people could shape their own destiny. Once in power, Sankara moved fast to turn ideals into action. His government launched a massive vaccination campaign, immunizing millions of children in weeks. He tackled desertification with a nationwide tree planting movement, mobilizing communities to protect their land. Education was a priority. Literacy campaigns and new schools brought learning to rural areas. Sankara promoted traditional Faso Danfani clothing, boosting local industry and pride. Every reform aimed to build self-sufficiency and confidence in Burkinabe identity. He rejected dependency on foreign aid, insisting the nation could thrive on its own terms. Sankara's changes were bold, practical, and deeply symbolic. He proved that with unity and vision, even a small nation could achieve big things. His leadership transformed daily life and inspired hope. Burkina Faso was becoming a model for African renewal. Sankara's influence reached far beyond the borders of Burkina Faso, echoing across the entire African continent and even around the globe. On the world stage, he boldly challenged the global system that kept Africa trapped in cycles of debt and dependency, refusing to accept the status quo imposed by powerful nations. At the United Nations, he delivered passionate speeches, calling for African nations to unite and reject foreign debt, which he described as a new and insidious form of colonialism. "The one who gives you to eat dictates his will to you," he warned, urging Africans to reclaim their autonomy and dignity. His words unsettled Western leaders, challenging their interests, but they resonated deeply with millions across the developing world who longed for justice and self-determination. Sankara urged Africans everywhere to decolonize their minds, to break free from imposed narratives, and to embrace their own cultures, languages, and histories with pride. He believed that true independence was not just political, but also mental and cultural, a liberation of the spirit and the imagination. His call for a revolution of dignity and self-worth inspired a new generation of African thinkers, activists, and dreamers to rise up and demand change. Over time, Sankara became a global icon of resistance and hope, his image and words fueling movements for justice far beyond Africa. He spoke not just of politics, but of pride, possibility, and the power of ordinary people to shape their own destinies. His voice was a wake-up call for Africa and the world, a reminder that change is possible when people unite with courage and vision. Once heard, it could never be forgotten, echoing through history as a beacon of hope and defiance. Sankara's boldness made him enemies at home and abroad. His anti-imperialist stance challenged Western powers, especially France. Many African leaders, comfortable with the status quo, saw him as a threat. His criticism of corruption and privilege unsettled elites across the continent. Inside Burkina Faso, rapid reforms angered traditional chiefs and urban elites who lost power and privilege. Cutting civil servant salaries and redistributing land created resistance. Despite opposition, Sankara stood firm, believing the fight for dignity was worth any risk. "You cannot kill ideas," he declared, aware of the dangers he faced. His courage in the face of immense pressure made his story legendary. Sankara's revolution was disruptive, but it was driven by hope for a fairer society. He never backed down from his mission. His bravery remains a source of inspiration. Sankara's radicalism alarmed powerful interests worldwide. His call for debt repudiation threatened global financial systems and Western influence. He built alliances with other revolutionary leaders, raising Cold War suspicions. Sankara's actions proved African nations could succeed without foreign approval or aid. Every local success challenged the excuses of other leaders and the old guard. Ultimately, the forces against him were overwhelming. On October 15, 1987, Sankara was assassinated in a coup led by his close ally, Blaise Compaoré. He was just 37. His death ended the revolution, and many reforms were reversed. But the echo of his ideas could not be silenced. Sankara's death transformed him into a symbol of hope and resistance. His ideas, self-determination, integrity, justice, became seeds planted across Africa. Young people discovered his speeches and saw in him a model of conviction and courage. His image became an icon for activists, artists, and students demanding change. Sankara's influence is visible in protests against corruption and calls for honest leadership. He represents the leader Africa needs: principled, selfless, and bold. His story inspires new generations to challenge the status quo. Sankara proved that one person's courage can ignite millions. His legacy is about service, not power. The seeds he planted are blossoming into a new wave of activism. His revolution lives on in the hearts of those who believe in dignity and freedom. Today, Sankara's echo is heard across Africa. Young entrepreneurs build businesses and tech hubs, pursuing the self-sufficiency he championed. Youth-led movements demand justice and accountability, using social media to organize. They are the upright people Sankara envisioned, refusing to accept corruption. Artists and creators lead a cultural renaissance, telling African stories in their own voices. This movement to decolonize minds and art continues Sankara's call for cultural freedom. Politically, his ideas set the standard for people-centered leadership. New leaders and activists invoke Sankarist principles in their fight for justice and equality. While no one has fully replicated his revolution, his vision remains a benchmark. Sankara's legacy is a constant reminder of a more just path for Africa. His spirit lives on in every act of courage and creativity. In a world facing climate change, inequality, and instability, Sankara's legacy is more relevant than ever. His message, hope, integrity, and the courage to dream, transcends time and place. He taught that true leadership is about service and connection to the people. Sankara showed that leaders should be measured by their impact on the vulnerable, not their wealth. He dared to dream big, vaccinating millions, planting forests, building a just nation. His story urges us to challenge limits and believe in radical change. Sankara proved that ideas rooted in justice cannot be destroyed. They tried to silence him, but his voice only grew louder. His dream lives on in every young person who stands for what is right. Sankara's vision inspires communities to work for the common good. His dream will never die. It lives in all who believe in a brighter future.